Good evening, everybody. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much. You are listening to the Angel Rock. If you'd like to watch the show, please come on over to the various Facebook pages we have. We have UFO Paranormal Radio. We've got what do we got? News on the flip side. We've got Joe Montaldo, UFO Undercover. We have our guest page, Cathy Bilsky, who I will get to in just a moment. We are on YouTube under, I believe, UFO Paranormal Radio, and we're also on Twitch under the same name. So come and check us out. You can watch the show. As you guys know, I always try to involve you. If you've been here before, I like to make you feel like part of the family. And I guess I should introduce myself. My name's Lorilei Potvin. I'm a Canadian psychic medium. I'm a crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher, and mentor. Oh, we got the baby. And I'm also a registered nurse. And tonight, we've been trying to do this for a long time. You may recognize my guest tonight. She's also a fellow host on this network with her own podcast, which she's going to talk about, which is called Quantum Leap. Right, Cathy? On
Uh-huh.
Friday nights. She'll tell you all about that. I'm going to read a little bit of her bio. She's got a cool bio. So, Catherine Bilsky is a shaman practitioner located on the big island of Hawaii. I'm so envious living way up here in Canada. She owns a rock shop slash free healing center and is the caretaker of the largest crystal in Hawaii, and it is huge. She also allows anyone to come and hug her 1,000 pound smoky quartz. I think it's supposed to say celestial, or is it celestial?
Celestial.
Celestial, okay. Earthkeeper, you'll have to tell me the difference. She is the inventor and manufacturer of Angel Light healing tools, which can be found at angellighttom.com. Well, don't worry, we'll talk about that at the end of the show for sure. Her main Earth mission is to help the Earth and all life forms quantum leap into divine enlightenment, and is promoting her World Enlightenment Event 2021 on December 24th of this year, a worldwide event. We're going to talk about that for sure tonight. She offers free curse removal to all in need. This takes about 10 minutes. Or soul retrievals. That's 1 hour by donation to all who come into her store. She also offers free Angel Light mini pain and stress releases. Welcome, Cathy. That's quite the bio.
Oh, thank you for having me on. I'm excited.
We got people in the chat already. We got Michelle Millions. We got Jake Zinger. He says, Hola, Laura, welcome. I want to grab my piece because I was the very lucky recipient of one of your pieces that you made, if you're okay with that. And we also have our co host tonight, Tiana, right? Her beautiful little Pomeranian, Tiana. Hang on, it's right here. I meant to grab it. My baby's in here too. I hope she behaves herself because last night or last week, between the cat and her, I'm telling you, hey, Zachman, welcome. So, how was your day today? You run your shop every day, right?
I do. I
Mm.
do.
This is the beautiful piece that Kathy sent me. I cannot wait to use it. Full
That's a
moons.
massage tool.
I know the full moon is almost here, so it's going in the window for bath. And it's been sitting on my selenite charging plate. So, hi, Dave. Welcome. So, what I want to say, I always start with my guests this way. Okay, how'd you end up doing this? Like, what got you into this?
Into what part?
The whole beginning. So, how did you be, with the shamanica part, especially, the healing? Was there some big life event where you just kind of knew, like, right from the beginning or of your life? Or,
Oh, they kept me in oblivion for the first 30 years. You know, if it's your destiny, it's your destiny.
yes, yes.
Sometimes you've got to look back at your life and go, oh, that's why you had me do that. And
Yes.
you
Yes.
put me on a shamanic path right after my mother died when I was 14.
Oh, I'm
Nice
so
one, guys. Never mentioned it. Okay. So, I end up, again, destiny. How did I get a hold of one of the biggest crystals in Hawaii? It was my destiny. I do a lot of energy work for the world, and I don't use that big crystal for myself.
hmm
That's a no no. So, your life evolves, and you evolve into what you're supposed to be if you're following your path.
hmm I have to agree with you because Mine was a horrific paranormal experience, but looking back, my work as a nurse, the things I experienced with palliative care and people crossing, or as I say, transitioning back home as they cross from this earth plane. Um, Near death experiences. I was always drawn to them. I believe I had one as a toddler. I've studied them for 40 years. And as far back as I can remember now, we've always been doing this work. We just never connected the dots, right?
No.
Hmm.
I like to say I had 30, I didn't wake till I was about 29, 30.
Hmm.
Okay. So I like to say, and I'm 68. So
Well,
I
you
like to
don't
say,
look 68, that's for
well,
sure.
thank you. I like to say I had 30 years of unconscious bliss because when I did awaken,
Hmm.
that was it. That was my path. That's all I saw. My friends fell away. My family fell
Yes.
away. I
Hmm.
wasn't interested in anything else but sucking up knowledge and applying because knowledge is nothing unless you can actually apply it.
I
So
have to agree.
for me, because and again, I'm 68, and I woke up in the 70s, in the 80s,
Hmm.
yeah, maybe close, yeah, 80s, late 80s. Um, there's so many books out there, and I got to the point and I said, Spirit, just guide me to the books that I can open up, I can read, learn, and apply. And if I
Right.
can't apply it, I am just so not interested.
Hmm.
And then just things evolved. I've always known I'm supposed to help the world quantum leap into divine enlightenment. God stamped that on my soul so I wouldn't forget. No frustration there. So
Hmm.
the minute I became awakened, I would be doing, God put me in a group that did light circles and energy circles.
Right.
And 38 years later, I'm the only one that's still doing them. And of
Oh,
course,
you're
I
lucky.
do it on radio.
Well, I know you do. You do. Well, we're going to do all kinds of cool stuff tonight. I know you mentioned you want to do a curse removal tonight, which I
Mm-hmm.
think is fantastic. The one thing I do want to give a huge shout out to, the one thing I am noticing actually, is those that, whether you want to call us light workers, light warriors, healers, whatever it is, the number of us that are awake as to what's really going on in this world. And I think that that's kind of why we've been called to this path. This is where we're really, really needed to help with the energy. Um, I don't know about you, but every person I have practically met, now I never felt this way, but I don't dismiss it in other people. But people that wake up and say, oh my God, my whole life's been a lie. And then the depression that sets in, or have you run into people like that? Because I am, but then again, you know what? With that being said, right there, people are drawn to who are meant to work with you, right? So maybe those are the people that are meant to work with me, that they just don't know where to go. And it's like, I kind of feel sorry in a way because it's like you said, it's stamped on your soul, if you will. But what happens is everything seems to just open up, right? Like it's so overwhelming. You don't know what direction to go in, or you're looking for mentors if you're open to education.
Well, they're on what I call the Cram and Jam Program. Okay.
Hmm.
When I woke spiritually, I had so much time to play, and we would go to this psychic and go, oh, who am I?
Yeah.
Oh, and then we would go to this psychic and tell me about me, and then we would
Yeah.
go to this psychic, and we were allowed to develop our
Hmm.
gifts and abilities.
Hmm.
Now it's wake up and get your ass and start working because you are
Yes.
needed and we don't have time. And you're just going to have to learn as you're doing. And I have, this is Satya Sai Baba on my necklace
Oh,
from
we
India.
talked about that off air. Hmm.
So he's my guru, and
I
I
love
got to
them.
see him 3 times. And I couldn't do my work without knowing that he stands behind me and protects my rear.
Would you feel comfortable explaining who he is? Because some people may never have. Because Zach just asked about what was on your neck. Oh, you know, I forget. Kathy's on this network, so she knows how to use StreamYard. Highlight the question. So thank you, Kathy. So can you explain who Sai Baba is? Because some people may not know who that is.
All right, now this is my truth. All right,
Hmm.
this is what I've experienced. And when Sai Baba was alive, to me, he was God in incarnation.
Hmm.
on the planet. He
Okay.
could talk all languages, he could manifest, and I got to go to India 3 times. So I
Wow.
saw him manifest the psychic abilities. Like I said, he could speak any languages, appear and disappear at will. You know, he was a really, what can I say, God on this planet. Um, and then when he was alive, he would secrete this holy ash called vibhuti, and it would come out of his hands and out of his whole body. And it's very, very sacred. And I actually have some of that
That's easy.
manifested that I put into all my healing,
Hmm.
angel light healing tools.
Wow.
So being able to go to India 3 times, you know, you get to experience something for yourself and see truth nobody else will be able to see because you're there experience it. It's your, you know, your adventure.
Hmm.
That we do get to share. You know, he has passed, but my goodness, the miracles on one of the trips. I left my ex-husband. That's why he's my ex. Home with the kids. And I mean, I was gifted this trip to go see Sai Baba. So after the first week, he's, you know, communicating through the computer. You got to come home. Oh my God, there's so much drama. And I'm thinking, are you out of your mind? I'm here seeing God. You know, I wouldn't dream of asking you to come back, you know.
Hmm.
So the last email he wrote was basically that. And I just said, deal with it. This is what I would do.
Exactly. You would have had to deal with it. So deal with it. Yeah,
But I wouldn't
exactly.
be asking, oh, honey, come back. You know, whenever he went out of town to work, it wasn't like, oh my God, my life's in drama. Please come back. I really need. It's like he worked through it.
Hmm.
But anyway, he was in trauma. So one day I was talking to my girlfriend at the ashram, and I'm going, you know, it'd be wonderful if there were no communication with the outside world, no computer, no phones, no
Love it.
texting, nothing.
Hmm.
The next day, the phone company went on strike.
Oh, darn. Oh, darn.
So he heard me
Yeah.
and he responded.
Hmm.
You know, I've seen him make candy and I've actually received candy that he made.
Hmm.
The miracles, like I said, I've had so many miracles with him in my life.
Hmm.
Um,
So
but
he's one of your soul. He's almost besides everything else, almost a soulmate. It sounds like in a way, right? Because people think soulmates have to be, romantic. They don't.
I wouldn't call him a
No.
soulmate. I would call him my guru.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll put those words
and
out there. I know you're being very humble and
right, and
respectful, but
protector. But
there's a
this is to me
connection there, Cathy. There's a connection.
this is somebody to me that is God in when he was here, God in physical form on the
Hmm.
planet. So when you have a connection with God, to me, it's a little bit different.
Hmm.
You know, it's not a soulmate. It's not someone I would get involved with. It's someone like, all right, now what do you want me to do? What's my next assignment? And you better protect my ass if you want me
Okay,
here.
so when I said soulmate, okay, let's define that a bit. So with soulmate, I don't believe that just a soulmate has to be romantic. A soulmate I find is and I'm sure maybe you've run into this, but it's somebody where you just have this connection and he's still connected to you in death. And again, I would never question your experience or what you experience. And again, to see somebody that you've seen the things that he can do that no other human that you've ever probably witnessed ever could. But he's got a connection still to you in life and in death.
Absolutely. But we have, I've spent a few lifetimes with him.
Got
When
you.
I was growing up and real young, and I had to learn, I came from Michigan, so we ice skated,
Hot in
and
Canada.
so, so when I had to learn to ice skate, or I had to learn to snow ski, or even roller skate, this old man would appear, white beard, be dressed in white, and he would teach me how to do those things. And once I understood that I was coordinated, he would disappear.
Hmm.
And one of Sai Baba's other incarnation, he was called Shirdi Baba, and Shirdi Baba was white beard, white outfit, and I really believe that was Shirdi Baba that
Wow.
came into my life to teach me that. Now, whatever my blessings are, I am working for world enlightenment. I mean,
Hmm.
this has been my whole ever since I awoke.
Mm-hmm.
No frustration there, guys. Oh, hell yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe you got to tell some of our listeners, what is your definition of world enlightenment? I know what it is because we've talked so much about this, but for our listeners, what is that?
All right, world enlightenment to me is where everyone is connected to the Creator. And when they're connected to the Creator, they become an awakened spiritual being that knows better than to hurt or harm. And they see through the illusion. And when the planet and almost everybody is connected to the Creator, everything else will fall into place. So when you go out and put a lot of energy toward peace or, whatever, that's lovely, but that's a symptom.
Mm-hmm.
World enlightenment is the key, and then from there everything will flow. But until you've got
Gotcha.
people that are awakened, it ain't going to happen. So on December 24th, we're coming together as one group, 5 o'clock Eastern time,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do it for 5 minutes or for the full hour or all day. And we're going to call down divine enlightenment and re-anchor it to the planet and around all life forms. So it doesn't matter how you do it, whether you pray it in, whether you meditate, you do it with a group, you dance it in. I like to chant.
Mm-hmm.
So the basic chant would be, may divine enlightenment descend around everyone now. May divine enlightenment awaken within everyone now. So you say that 3 times, and then I tweak it. May divine enlightenment descend on all children now. May divine enlightenment awaken within all children. May divine enlightenment descend on all Nazis now. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the full hour. And we're going to have it live on UPRN radio.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you
Yay!
are.
Joe!
Okay, so I got to
So,
ask you, why did you pick that date? Just out of curiosity.
I went to an astrologer and I said, in the last quarter of this year, what is the highest energy date of that time? And she picked that date, and I went, okay, who am I, right?
We got an
Um,
astrologer in our audience, Dave Petrella. He's going to actually be a guest on my show. We've got to know each other quite a bit, personally as well. But listen, he's going to be talking about that. I haven't had somebody with astrology. It's so funny. Most of the people I know, my friend David, who you met, that's how the night we met Dave. He found our audience. He was going to be on Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano's show. And Dave was going, no, I don't know much about astrology. I said, yeah, it's. I haven't really learned much about it either. And like you said, you went to an astrologist, but there's so much to know, right?
oh
That's
my
just it.
God. And December 24th, everyone's getting together. You've
Yes.
got Muslims, you've got Jewish, you've got Kwanzaa. So it can be a huge gathering.
Mhm.
I believe we can do it if enough people put their attention on it. We can quantum leap the world into divine enlightenment and be done with this. I
That'd
mean,
be
why
so
are
much
we
fun.
waiting? Because every day that goes by, it's not good for us. It's not good for the light workers.
Mm-mm. It's not
And
good for anybody unless the people that are asleep, I think, because they're living in their own little bubble, and for whatever reason they're not seeing this. I came across, that's where I was going to go with this, you guys. I do want to draw some attention, speaking of the world. If you're not aware of this, we're not seeing in North America, but check out around the world what is going on. Send your prayers, send your love, because my moderator in one of my groups, Paranormal University, she reached out actually after seeing our show. She calls me Mama. She lives in Sardinia. She's just a year older than my oldest son. So gifted. And she sent me a bunch of video from Sardinia and Italy today. There was a video I seen. Dave, I think I sent it. I might have sent it to all Zach and a few people on here, but you would not believe, hundreds of thousands of people standing together, peacefully marching, and it's a really good thing. But if you don't see it and you don't hear about it, the same thing, what I would love to draw attention to is in Canada here, there was a passionate plea from the Indigenous people that apparently in the province of Saskatchewan at the very northern border, so it goes into the Northwest Territory, so we're getting into some very, very cold weather. Women and children on the Black Lake Reserve have had to flee their homes. They're in the bush. It's freezing because military is up there forcing what we know. We won't say it because we're on YouTube tonight. So please send them your prayers, your love, whatever you can to support it, because they need it. And the world needs to hear about these kind of things so that we can start pulling together here and not be like, that's why I love this. I told you when I first saw you were doing this, I said, spread it in my group, spread it everywhere, because the more people, the better. Right, Cathy?
Absolutely. It's all about group energy.
Mm-hmm.
It is group energy. No solos in this lifetime.
Mm-mm. So I got to ask you, because I know you work with dolphins. I love dolphins. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your work with that as well?
Oh my God, it's one of my passions. I love swimming with the dolphins. So I got
Oh,
to swim with the wild dolphins. And then I've also had the grace to swim with the tame dolphins. Now, some people will go, oh my God, tame dolphins, they're stuck. Well, out here in Hawaii, this one dolphin center has a dolphin that's 50 years old,
ah,
35 years old, 25, 10, 15, down to one to babies.
right.
They take incredibly good care of the dolphins. And
Oh,
the dolphins love us. Oh my God, you go there, and it's not like the wild dolphins. We'll go, we'll let you come into our pack, but you ain't touching us, okay?
okay.
So the tame dolphins you can hug and stroke, and I was able to go at a time when there were no tourists, so everything was half price.
I love it.
And when you are able to touch a dolphin like that and hug them, and I help the dolphin remember how to put their nose to our third eye,
Oh,
and they don't do it with everybody,
right.
and they'll just hold it there, and there's this incredible energy that passes through.
I
And
have, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
they're magical, and they're very telepathic.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot get anything through them. And you wonder, I'm talking to the trainers one time, and I'm looking at all the tricks the dolphins are doing, and I know I've read enough about dolphins. And I looked at the trainer and I go, well, how do you know the dolphins are putting the thought into your mind that this is the trick that they want to learn? And then when you get it, they're going, yay! Okay.
Yeah.
So by the time I was done, they actually shifted and they're looking at the dolphins in a different way, that they are telepathic. So, again, I don't know who the teacher, if this was done with intent, that they were trying to teach me a lesson, but boy, was it a big lesson. So, I'm swimming with the tame dolphins, and the trainer goes, do you want to feed her? And I went, okay. So, so I took the fish and I kind of pretended to put it in my mouth, and then I gave it to her. Okay, that night, and I swear to God, it was like a broken record. I could hear the dolphins go, look, we'll play with you, but don't fuck with our food anymore. Okay, that's not okay. And I mean, I am apologizing all night because the thoughts of your head, and it's over and over. You have no doubt in what's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, after I apologized for the 100 millionth time,
Yeah.
they got it. Did I ever do that again? Oh, hell no. But I actually one time, seeing got me talking on something I love to talk about. But I was able to bring a 30-pound celestial crystal, okay, because I wanted to really share the crystal energy with the
Yeah.
dolphins because it's really important. So we took a 30-pound one and one that was a hand size.
Right.
So, there was a 35, well, the 50-year-old, when she got near the big one, it was like, I don't think so.
Really?
Way too much energy. I'm not
Okay.
doing it. But she could touch the baby, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The 35-year-old came right up to me and put her head right on the crystal and
Oh,
held it there and held it there. And I'm going, oh my God, this is so incredible. Now they say what the dolphin mothers do, the babies will follow. So the next time I brought the crystal, now she didn't come out, but she let her babies come out. And the babies were able to come up right to the big crystal.
oh my goodness.
Really, really cool. So it is magical. And if you ever get a chance to do that, do it. It's a once in a lifetime. And if you do, they are calling you. They are calling you to them.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you swim with the wild dolphins, because it's a whole ocean, you're working your butt off. And it's like, you're telepathically going, can you slow it down a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
But, they know that you're taking their picture and they become hams and then they'll play with you. And it's just an incredible experience.
I have loved dolphins. I'm 56, and when I was younger, I was supposed to, I think I could read at a very, very early age. I read an adult book, I think I was barely 6 years old, on dolphins. And I never done this before. I'll even show you. I don't know if you guys can see my first tattoo. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a mother dolphin and a middle-sized baby dolphin and a baby. Those are for my boys. I have swam with dolphins.
Oh,
We went to the Dominican with my first husband at the time for our 10th wedding anniversary. I purposely chose the space because I've always wanted to swim with them. And people were so afraid. It was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get in.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Well,
Mhm.
the ones in Florida, they can be aggressive because the
I
people
heard
down
that,
in
yes.
Florida treat them badly.
Hmm.
So they have a hard. I mean, people get drunk. They're in their boats, and they'll treat them horribly. So the dolphins remember, and sometimes they can't remember who the idiots are and who the other people are in the water. So they attack the wrong people, but they're pissed.
Hmm.
I've not ever, ever heard of a dolphin in Hawaii attacking anyone ever.
I haven't been
And
to Hawaii yet. This was in the Dominican, and it was an animal sanctuary. No, I didn't agree with everything the way it was set up there, but the dolphins, they had they would come in to where they would swim with the tourists. They could obviously pay for it. And then they had a huge, like right into the ocean. It wasn't a tank, but I don't know if they had a net or something. They had lots of room to swim. And, the one thing that shocked me, and I should have known, but you just can't tell the size from being on TV or watching, when it's in front of you and you see an animal with that much power, and then how they feel when you touch them. It's just so incredible.
but the ones that you touch that are tame, they love it. They're
Mhm.
hams.
Yeah,
They
they were.
know, and it's like they'll roll over and go, "Oh, please, baby, pet my stomach."
Mhm.
So I was able to take my angel light tools and do healing work. So,
Oh.
okay, so this is one of a dolphin teaching moments. Now, I all summer there were no tourists. Okay,
Hmm.
so you can do whatever you want. Nobody's watching you. You have privacy. So
Hmm.
now the tourists are coming back, and there's this one trick that the dolphins do, and oh my God, it is the funniest thing. Is that they'll put themselves up and they'll open up their mouth, they'll stick their tongue out, and then they'll wag their
Yeah.
head back and forth, and their tongue is flipping like this because it's freaking huge. It is funny. So, okay, so they're doing it, and then I started doing it back. Okay, like and then I look over to the left, and oh my God, here's all these tourists, and they're taking pictures and videos. And I'm going, oh my God, you guys are, funny, and they knew it. They knew.
Yeah.
So, they're funny. They're so connected to the Creator because of their joy.
Hmm.
And
That
that's
makes
what they
sense.
try to bring out in us, to be joyful and playful.
Hmm.
And don't get so involved in your work that you forget about you and you forget about playing, because it's really important, the balance.
Even that's so important. That's such a powerful message, because even when I'm mentoring people to connect with their intuition. I've had this argument with our wonderful Joe Montaldo. We'll give him a shout out. He's the owner of UPRN. He's in LA right now, guys. Part of the People's Choice for Podcast Awards. I believe Science and Beyond is nominated. And I've had this argument with him, and he'll tell me that no, not everybody has ability. And I believe everybody has ability, whether you've forgotten it, whether maybe you haven't unlocked it. We all have the potential of so much more. And I know you feel that way too, than we've ever been told or led to believe possible.
Well, there's, okay, I'm one of my many lifetimes in this lifetime, but a long time ago, I
Yeah.
went to Egypt and I had the gift of sight. I could close my
Ah,
eyes, go anywhere, see anything. And then when I got back, it was wiped away. Well, I didn't know I ran into a black magician that literally took it away. I thought God
okay.
got pissed off at me, and So now, what are you going to develop? Your third eye. Oh, right. Good luck with that one. So what else? Your hearing. Oh, pfft. So you got left is feeling, and I went, oh, I can do that.
Hmm.
I can develop my feeling and my sensitivity. So I did. I walked around with a crystal all the time, and I paid attention to how that crystal affected my body.
Hmm.
And you can even do that driving and still pay attention, but you can feel. So now you're training yourself how to feel. And then as it goes, you're going to understand that a lot of what we pick up is not our energy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the other thing I teach people too is, especially if you know that you pick up other people's things, first thing we need to do is stop, take a breath, clear your mind, and say, is this mind mine? And usually it's not. And you just return to sender. Where I was going though with that joy, like the message you gave from the dolphins,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm mentoring people and teaching them to tune into their abilities and the energy and what have you, a lot of it you think it's imagination, but it is. You have to open your mind. You have to imagine almost like, what does this feel like? What am I seeing? And because we've been taught, I think, as adults, you know, how many children, like I've yet to meet most children that don't have some kind of ability, especially really, really young children. And as they get older, they get told, oh, that's ridiculous. That's playtime is for babies. It's time to get serious now. You're in school. Let go of the imaginary friend, whatever it may be, right? So we're told to turn it off.
I think more when we were growing up. I
Hmm.
mean, again, because I'm old, my parents didn't even look at that stuff.
Oh, mine
Um,
either. Hmm.
but the kids that are coming in now, they're coming into parents that are more awakened and are more aware. What I'm
Hmm.
saying,
Hmm.
than ever before. It certainly wasn't like our generation.
Hmm.
Where
I'm
we
meeting a
couldn't
lot of
even
kids
talk
though.
about it. It wasn't
I'm
even.
meeting a lot of kids and even little kids. And you're right. At least they may be aware of it, the parent, but then they get really freaked out or they get afraid. Like, what is this? Like, what is my kid seeing? Who is my kid talking to? And what have you, right? So because they need that because we weren't raised that way. Even parents that are now today, they may be more aware of it, but you've got a kid that can see spirit, for example, and talking to spirit and scared and what have you, and knows things like, mommy, you're going to have a baby a year from now. I've seen video of kids saying stuff like this, and the parents
Mhm.
freaked out. And so the parent needs support to be able to, how do you mentor and support this child? Because I do believe we have a different breed of children coming in, more sensitive,
Absolutely.
more empathic. I think that's why we're having this epidemic of, we're seeing anxiety and depression and what have you. Never mind all the other distractors, but
No, I think you're
mhm.
right.
And
Absolutely.
not getting outside, not, I mean, that's so important for us as human beings.
Being masked all the time. I mean, try
Uh-huh.
taking a mask off the kids nowadays. And like I said, I own a store, and there's a bunch of young kids, probably 8, 9 years old, and they were sweating with mask on. And I looked,
Oh.
you can take your mask off, right? And I had to say it about 4 times. And finally, she pulls her mask down over her nose, okay? Takes a deep
I
breath and
know.
pulls it back up. And I go, no, take it off. It's okay. And finally, I got them to take it off. But 5 minutes later, they're in another part of my store and they had their mask back on. Now, don't tell me they're not conditioned. I've even had parents come in that don't believe in masks. And I'm telling the kids, I go, come on, honey, you can take your masks off. And the parents will look at me and they'll go, well, we keep trying. And I'm thinking, try my ass. All you do is tear that thing off their face and say, you don't need to wear it now.
Hmm.
This is not a hard concept, but even
It
the
hasn't
parents are
stopped where I live.
conditioned.
It hasn't stopped. You
Oh,
put up your
no.
finger. Hmm.
I'm probably, well, I'm probably one of the very few people that won't wear a mask.
Hmm.
Oh, I mean, when I
Really?
have to, I will. You know, I'll go into the store because people will, I don't want to, make anybody feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I wear this very sheer, very sheer scarf.
Yeah.
And usually I'm able to get away with it, but I can breathe through it. And the guys love it because they think I'm in a harem, right? So, but, it's like when you're outside or in your car, you don't need to wear the damn mask. I mean, breathe as much as you have to. And when I see people in the ocean and they're wearing a mask, you just want to go, oh my God, I think you took the you know what because you're not thinking and you're a little brain dead right now.
Oh my goodness. Because I was going to even go there with this new thing. This documentary came out about earthing. Earthing has been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. We're meant to heal ourselves by walking in our bare feet on the earth, like getting out in nature. And that's how I'm glad they put it out there. But I thought to brand it as this new a miracle healing technique, I went, oh my God, you can't be serious. But
We are been there, done that, and we know better.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm,
And again, as long as they're not charging for it,
mm-hmm,
if they're getting the concept and helping people remember, people are forgetting, they've been given fluoride, they're dumbed down with 5G, pick away. They don't remember. And that's why they're trying to get rid of us old people because we know stuff, you know. And for us that, still, we don't have Alzheimer's, I know things. I know what used to work years ago that my mother used and
mm-hmm,
why.
mm-hmm,
One of the things, if you ever been given castor oil every month, well, it's for parasites.
mm-hmm.
They did that back then, but they didn't line the kids up and said, all right, parasite medicine now. They just said, line up, shut up. I know you're going to hate it, but open up wide and take it and
Yeah.
go away and make sure
I
you swallow
just
it.
saw, I think I sent it to you. It was a doctor. I think I want to say hi to Michelle Pratt too from Australia. She's listening. She says, good day, Lorilei. Good day, Cathy. She's listening. I sent it to her. I think I sent it to Zach. I've sent it to most people on here. But he was talking about different things and how you can obtain certain things prophylactically if you felt maybe you wanted to have it on hand. But he said something really powerful. And what it was that 80% of, call it medications, they're all based on nature, but you can't patent nature. So they've
Mm-hmm.
created something artificial. So as a nurse, do I think I'm a doctor? No. But knock on wood, I keep my family away from other medical facilities because I just know there's so many natural things you can use. Again, if you don't know, you find somebody that does know or do your research. But there's so much. He was talking about the natural things out there, anyways, that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I always say I'm not the doctor's friend because, they get to call me up and go, one day they go, we just want to sign you up for your COVID test. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, oh, hell no. It was like, okay. But I don't do any of that. I can use Angel Light to take me out of pain. And you're right, there's so many other stuff to do. And I'm not going to go anywhere near a hospital. People are sick there.
I'm
And,
a nurse and I say a hospital
you
is no
know,
place for sick people.
no, they're not going to shove anything up my nose so I can get in. Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
Thank you guys very much. But no, I think we're healthier if we stay away. And I got healthy when I lost my insurance lifetimes ago. And you decide, well, God, I think I better get healthy now because that's
Mhm.
my only option.
And we're not giving medical advice, just so we're being clear here. We're sharing our personal experiences. And if it's
Mm-hmm.
something that resonates with you listening, take a look because there's a wealth of information out there. You know what? Sit and have a chat with maybe your grandmother if your great grandmother's around. I think it's so important. Doesn't matter what it is. If you've got an elderly or elder in your family that maybe has recipes or something like that, it doesn't have to be medicine. It could be food. For example, I learned how to knit I learned how to make jam, jelly, bread from my grandmother. And she always used to make, she was of English descent, so she always used to make this plum pudding and brandy hard sauce at Christmas. And I remember saying to my mom, I remember even saying to my grandmother, I need to sit down or somebody does with you and write this recipe. And it
Mm-hmm.
was very kind about it and tactful. But I basically said, I'm not saying you're going to die tomorrow, but we all die. And that dies with you. And that's exactly what happened. Her bread recipe, everything. Hmm.
And guys, you don't have to go there with a pen and paper. You can take and record them.
What a beautiful thing. Because you have their voice on the recording. What a great idea, Cathy. I didn't even think of that.
And then you can transcribe it. But at least, you're going to have it in two modalities. But it's
Hmm.
much easier. I, I'm from the time where they tried to teach us shorthand in school. And I don't know if
Okay.
y'all know what that is, okay? Probably not. That's how far back I go.
Mhm.
People can't do shorthand. That's what you would have to do. I mean, you would be going, okay, Grandma. Okay, wait, slower. What? No, slow sentence. Okay, real slow.
Yeah.
Okay, and she'd lose it. So tape it. So much easier.
That is such a, you know what? And actually, as my blanket's falling down here, um, I love to go thrifting. Not cheap, but you would not believe the waste that people do. Brand new stuff in there, like that's like $200 at the store, and they've got it for $5 or whatever. For example, and I know Zach is into the paranormal. So I don't know if I'll ever need it or not. I was in there. I found a digital tape recorder. I know those things are going for 300 bucks on eBay because you can hardly buy them. I got it for $7. It's never been opened. Never
Mhm.
been opened.
Here in Hawaii, there's a lot of influx of people, and
Mhm.
we kind of laugh and say, when you first move here, you've got a 2-year initiation to make it through, and you either make it, and if you don't, well, that's why we call it the garage sale island.
Ah,
You're
okay.
not going to take it with you.
Well,
And
no.
you get the best stuff at the dump. But we don't dumpster dive. They'll have a little place, to the side where people will donate their stuff. And
Hmm.
you can find the best. One day I did go to the dump and somebody set aside a whole bag of designer clothes, even with the price tags on them, men, women's, kids. Oh my God, my
Oh
boys were
my
coming that
goodness.
summer and I'm thinking, oh, Spirit, you are too cool. Look at these shorts, are exactly what they wear. Got the price tag on them. They would never know I dumpster
And of
dived.
course, it was all your size too, right?
And I mean, stuff that I went, wow, I like, okay. I left the guy stuff there. That wasn't in my life. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's what you would throw out is somebody else's treasure.
Yeah.
And, I live on an island. Everything is recycled here.
Hmm. So Kate Walker, hi Kate, welcome. She says everything I own is thrifted. I really miss thrift stores lately due to shutdowns. Sometimes secondhand things don't last long, but for the price, you can usually afford to replace it after a year anyway. Like I don't know, those of you that follow me on Facebook, that hat that I put on Facebook, that's the black. It's in the background right back there. It's black. Okay, that was thrifted. It was never worn. It was brand new, and I put a resin piece in the middle with ribbon and flowers. It looks beautiful. So put your own spin on it. Like I think nowadays, especially with inflation and stuff, I think we have to get a little bit creative. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Mm-mm. No, remember creativity. Get rid of the well, put the cell phones down and the computer and, be creative. Doesn't matter what you do.
Thanks, Michelle. Well, actually, I told Dave if he's still here, I was going to make a T-shirt for tonight, and then I ran out of time. No, things always happen at this house. It's anybody's life unexpected, right? But I did make this one, so I thought I'll wear this one. But that's when I do most my meditation. Like, and I always tell people you don't have to be into spirituality to do meditation. CEOs do it, professional, athletes, but you'd be really surprised when you can actually sit there and quiet your mind, what comes through, right?
Well, it's, when you do your work, I'm sure you keep a really high energy like I do. So when I make my dream catchers, I kind of like pray when I do it to make sure the energies are really high. And
Yeah.
that also goes into all my healing tools because people
Hmm.
will sense that.
Hmm.
And, just see it, but then they feel it, and it's like, oh, or what it'll emanate because of the energy you put in it.
Because you feel so happy. You do, because you're doing something you love. It's like if you really love to make things or whatever it may be, you create something, you put a bit of yourself in it. You're doing it hopefully because you love it. And then, you know what? You're right. People can feel it. For those of you that just joined us, this is one of Cathy's pieces. We'll make sure to let you guys know her website, but look at how beautiful this is. This is for deep tissue massage, you said, right? You know what else I'm going to use this for? Is with my crystal Reiki. I need to make a video to show people what crystal Reiki is about, but I use a lot of quartz, especially when I'm directing energy into the chakras or out. So, and this will just fit perfectly.
Well, it's
So you
multi
were talking. Oh, go ahead, Cathy. Sorry.
it's multi-use.
That's the best kind of tool, right? And it came from you. So thank you. So you were talking about doing a curse removal with everybody. Are you still comfortable with that, or
Oh, yeah. As long as there's no going to be no interruptions, right, for the next 10 minutes.
not that I can see? No, my
Okay.
dog's now settled down. Hmm.
Okay, so curse removal is removing energy that you've taken on that's not yours, or people have cursed you, removing energy overlays. It's opening, also, I open up all the chakras
Love it.
before I do it. Okay? Um, so all you have to do is close your eyes and experience, because you
Okay.
don't need to watch me do this, because it's all
Okay.
verbal.
I'll close my eyes.
Um, so for those of you that are going to participate, sit down, be comfortable, put your feet flat on the floor, and put your hands in your lap like you're going to receive. And sit up as straight as you can, because then you're
Okay.
really connected with the Creator.
Okay.
All right. So each and every one of you, I want you to start taking some gentle, deep breaths. I want you to breathe in light and exhale out everything that no longer serves you. And imagine all that unwanted energy going through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. So you breathe in light and exhale out everything that no longer serves you. And do that till I tell you to stop. Surround each and every one of you. I'm going to surround you in a bubble of golden flame. I add to that the blue flame of protection, the violet flame of transmutation, the green flame of healing, and I'm going to seal you in the pink flame of love. And we're going to call to all your teachers, guides, masters, all the divine beings that work with you, the cosmic beings, the whales, the dolphins, the elemental kingdom, and we're going to invite them in to make this energy work as gentle, loving, and kind as we can. So take one more gentle breath and exhale out anything left in your body that no longer serves you, and then breathe normal. So now I want you to imagine this incredible divine healing energy coming down from God, coming into your crown chakra at the top of your head. Now allow that energy to flow through your brain. And as it flows through your brain, I want you to feel every cell, atom, molecule of your brain reconnect to the Creator. And you become an even more awakened spiritual being filled with all these new possibilities. So let that energy flow out your third eye. Now allow that energy to flow down and come out your throat chakra. And now allow it to drift down and flow out of your heart chakra. Oh, sorry guys, if you hear me burping, it's not because I'm drinking beer, it's because I'm releasing energy for you. So allow that divine energy to come out of your heart chakra one more time. And now allow it to come out of your solar plexus. And now feel it drift down and flow out of your belly button chakra. And now out of your sacral, and that's right below the belly button. Feel it flow out your root chakra. So allow that divine energy to flow all the way down your legs. Let it go out your feet and send it into the earth. Feel it flow down your arms, out your hands, and allow it to flow down your spine. And now I want you to become totally consumed by this really high divine healing energy. So I want you to take one more gentle breath this time. And again, as you exhale, if there's any dark or anything negative left in your body, feel it being released as you exhale, and then breathe normal. As you're doing that, I call to Michael the Archangel to come forth and cut all ties to any energy you've taken on that's not yours, whether it's from a friend, relative, acquaintance, stranger, anybody you work with, TV set, animal, whatever the karmic reason is that created anything out of balance in your life or your body today. And as all that unwanted energy is peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, and all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. And now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to reptile, dinosaur energy, secret societies, organized religion, cut all ties to any oaths, vows, curses, hexes, rituals that have been done to you or your family, going backwards and forwards hundreds of thousands of generations, or anything you could have done, consciously or unconsciously. And as all that unwanted energy too is peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. And now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to any effigies that have been misused against you, and that's any elemental of yours that was used to hurt you or anyone, including anything you own. Clothes, hair, picture, your name spoken, written, just thought of, or anything you have your energy on. And as ties to all those elementals are cut, we call the violet flame through them to clean them up, the angel light energy to heal. We fill them up with love, and I command them to be neutral or only emit love. And now I want Michael to come forth, remove any energy implants that have been done to you or anything that could have carried over from any other lifetime because of dark magic, voodoo, dark witchcraft, or just dark thoughts sent your way. So I want the stick, pin, needle, or knife that's in your crown chakra removed from your third eye, your throat, heart, solar plexus, belly button, root, feet, hands, spine, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, hips, teeth, anywhere in your body that's out of balance. And as you feel all those pins, needles, and knives being very gently removed, imagine all those spaces immediately fill up with the violet flame to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal. We release all that unwanted energy back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. And now I want Michael to come forward, cut all ties to patriarchy, genocide, rape, incest, slavery, prostitution, persecution, circumcision, removing any energy overlay that's trying to manipulate you, keeping you from connecting with God, healing yourself, being really successful, fulfilling all your divine missions, and living your life in joy. And as all that unwanted energy is gently peeled off of you too, like an onion skin, and all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. So if there is anybody out there directing any kind of dark energy at you, whether it's through dark magic, witchcraft, Santa Maria, voodoo, or just dark thoughts sent your way, we're going to ask them to stop, step forward in the light, and if they choose to continue, which is their free will, we ask their higher self and guardian angel to put them in a position of harmlessness. We surround them in a bubble of mirror. The mirror faces them, and it's 2 inches from their nose. And as long as they do that dark work, that energy stays contained in the bubble of mirror. But I'm going to add the violet flame to it to transmute that energy so they have no forward movement. And the bubble of mirror stays up 24/7, 365 days a year until they do works of good. So I call to your higher self and ask your higher self now to activate your divine blueprint for perfect health, the one that you created before you incarnated into this lifetime. Let that start manifesting in your body now. I call to your higher self and ask your higher self to activate your divine blueprint for all your spiritual gifts you came in with, and that you magnetize to you everything you learn, all the people and situations you need to develop those gifts for free. And now I again call to your higher self to activate your divine blueprint for divine abundance. So let all this energy now be activated in your life and integrate in a very gentle, kind, loving way with your cells, your atoms, your molecules, all your internal organs going all the way down into your DNA. And with every breath now, feel yourself starting to center. And now, if you've got your feet flat on the floor, we're going to start pulling that earth energy up. And as we pull it up, feel yourself, your energies pulling in body, feel yourself becoming very centered, very clear headed. And with every breath now, feel yourself becoming even more centered and clear headed, and you're pulling back into body. Okay, so we're done. Now, if after the show you're still high from energy, you can either hold the stone hematite, or go outside, find a tree, put your hands on the tree, and send all your excess energy into the tree. You only have to do that for 30 seconds. And then ask the tree to send you energy back, and you're going to ground. Or eat something, take a bath, and you'll pull back in body. So how do you feel?
Cathy, you are powerful. I am telling you, while you were doing that, I'd love to hear people's experiences in the chat if you were able to join us. Because, first of all, when you said you're not going to have any interruptions, and I really tried to clear that thought from my head, I don't know what it is with my youngest kid. It's both of them. Like, my oldest son is so hilarious. He's part of the LGBTQ community, and he'll say, "Bitch, get out of my head." He doesn't talk that way, just he'll say it because I'll finish his sentences. I'll know when he's going to call. This one, I knew he was going to feel it. I knew it. What does he do? Just as you're finishing, he opens the door. He knows I'm doing my show. So I had to put my hand up like 1 minute. He knows, he feels it. But, anyways, what happened was it was literally like this cool water all going down my body. Okay. Then I got super hot, like super, 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 super hot. And then now I'm just like cooling. Like, you are powerful, girl. Holy cow, are you powerful? Thank you. Thank you.
The energy flowing through me. This is all I do.
Well, you're good at it. I could see though with the cough, like, unless people don't understand that, right? You're transmuting that you're gonna have to release it yourself. Hmm.
So I burp. If I burp up stuck energy, it's better than farting and
Yep.
throwing up. Okay, especially on my end.
So
But if I
Michelle
don't tell
said
people there, they think I got a bottle of beer on the side, right?
that would be nice, but no, Michelle said, "Thanks, Cathy. That was really cool. Feeling calm. I really needed that. Thank you." So thank
Oh,
you.
good. Now, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can download that. I think you can download it, but it's there, the curse removal. Um, so you can put my name, and then you can put curse removal, and you want the one that's only 10 minutes long, because I'll do them a lot of my radio shows.
I
And
know. I listened that night. Remember when we first started really talking? I
mhm.
was listening to your show and I heard you doing, I mean, I know you're going to change it up a little, but I heard this. So as I was listening to you, and I didn't participate, but I could hear you. And I remember putting in the back of my brain, I got to remember that. I got to check that out. So I'll make sure I'll get the address to your YouTube channel and I'll put that on the banner too for people.
Well, it's Cathy Bilsky. No, easy. If you want people to find you, let them make it easy. But that's what I call the maintenance program, because if you're a light worker, you're going to have people come after you. I mean, really,
Oh,
you can live in Hawaii and you can be white in Hawaii and you can get cursed.
mm-hmm,
Okay, that's just a fact. Okay,
mm-hmm,
you can have somebody jealous. You're too pretty. You're doing a radio show. You have pretty hair. You're happy. Or it could be even a frequency problem with that person, and they feel uncomfortable, so they're going to, send you dark energy. Or you can go into a grocery store
mm-hmm.
and pick up everybody's energy. It's just so easy to do. So as you're clearing it out, you're lighter, because you got rid of all
That's
the
how
stuff
I
that no
feel,
longer serves
lighter.
you.
Like I'm in a balloon almost. And I knew, well, we've talked off air about this, but I will tell you, over the years, when I have found out, there's a reason why, and I talk about this on my show, where you have sayings like, stabbing you in the back, or watch your back,
Mm-hmm,
or because you
mm-hmm.
don't see it coming. And I can tell you, I would never look for it, but when somebody I have found out that I never thought in a million years would ever do something like that, because they're so kind to your face, and literally posting stuff on the internet about you, and you see this, you're like, oh my gosh, but we don't know, right? Mm-hmm.
Well, people, why would you think if you got this thing in your back that feels like a knife, and if you're not in that world, why would you even think that your ex-wife put a knife in your back, energy wise? I had a guy come in a long time ago, and he went through doctors like for 2 years. He couldn't get rid of the pain in the back. Well, I did that energy work. I removed, his knife, his ex-wife, and the pain was gone. So it's healing body, mind, and soul.
Mm-hmm.
And, I look at it, if you're normally really coordinated, all of a sudden you start falling and tripping, or your life starts to fall apart, or your marriage starts to fall apart, or the kids or the dogs die, your animals, you're under psychic attack.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ignore it, it's stronger on their end because, it's like a kid throwing a tantrum. If you let them go, it gets worse, 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 and worse because there's nothing blocking it. So if you give it attention and neutralize it, then they're nothing.
Well, I think that that's what people don't understand, right? And then they think it's really woo woo. But what they don't realize, you can even bring this right back to science. I know you're reading Michelle's comment.
Yeah.
I'll address that one sec. But what I was going to say is everything is energy on this planet. Like, if you really think about it, and when I first seen The Matrix, I would never connect with that. I've just watched it again recently, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I miss a lot in that? But everything's just little atoms vibrating. Like, if we hadn't been taught that walls were solid or this bed or whatever, right, we'd be able to do all that stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yes. But you're seeing it with new eyes and new knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like Jacob's ladder. You see it first down here, and then, you keep raising your energy, your vibration, then you go through it again, and it's a whole different experience.
But people think this is really woo woo, is my whole point. But when you look at Carillion photography, for example, and you're able to see what people might call an aura, and the example I always give, and I don't remember what TV show it was from, but there were two guys that didn't know each other very well. And one guy was right up in the other guy's face, and he goes, dude, personal space. Or like I say to people, we have different levels of intimacy. So somebody you don't know well, and they don't respect your personal space, which is your aura, your energy field. Yeah, I know you know that. You will automatically back up. It will just feel icky. You won't know why. That's because it's their people. It's not fake.
But we're not taught that. And again, the woo-woo, what a lot of people will come in and they'll go, well, I think I'm crazy, or you won't think I'm crazy. And it's like, of course not. This is natural. This is part of life. There are people, we live on a satanic planet, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
There are people out there, and if you are a light worker, or any person who does good works, you are going to get attacked. And if you're not getting psychically attacked, you ain't doing your job.
Mm-hmm. I think this is important. If we could address this with Michelle, she says we have a rock from somewhere that's forbidden to take rocks in that removal. I felt that it was myself that took that rock. Interesting. Not into taking stuff, but I love rocks. And then she adds, I always thought it was my mom that got the rock, but I feel it was me. And then she said, and this rock I feel has cursed my family. Dang.
Do you still have the rock?
So I'm sure she's pretty quick about typing. So
What I would do, if you have the rock, I would bless it, and I would literally put it in a pyramid. Okay, and if you can make a pyramid, with a bottom.
she
Um,
does resin. She does resin too. I know she does. She does resin.
okay. Okay, well, you want a open bottom, okay, where
Okay.
you can put this, depending on how big it is. Okay, you wrap the rock in aluminum foil.
Okay.
Okay, put it under the pyramid and put a stone, put a rose quartz on top.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, and then on the four corners of the pyramid, put whatever stone spirit tells you. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that's set, okay, or square. And then you leave it sit there for a week, and anything dark or negative, it's going to pull it off, okay, and leave only the stone that's clear. I would also go to the Mother Earth and I would say, I am really sorry. We didn't really mean to take it. I'm going to offer you something back as a gift.
Mhm.
And, we have that here in Hawaii. You're not supposed to take the lava out because curses come with it. And I've had people call me up and go, oh my God, my life fell to shit. I didn't mean to do it.
Yep.
And you say you are just SOL.
Mhm.
Um, but I also believe that if you find something that really resonates with you,
Mhm.
and you go to the Mother Earth and go, I really love this. Do I have permission to take it? And I am going to give you something back that's lovely.
Mhm.
Yeah, to me, that's your get out of jail card, so to speak.
You know what though, and we talked about this, like I said to you, and we will find the time, but I believe in equal energy exchange. I don't think somebody gives you something because, they expect something, but I believe in equal energy exchange. Even when I go to a crystal store, and I mentor my students with this too, is ask that crystal if it's okay with going home with you. Now, of course, you don't need to speak out loud. You can think within the mind's eye, but I always ask. Sometimes I've gotten a no. And I respect that because obviously maybe it wasn't meant to come home with me. And I met somebody that recently, they were just opening up to spirituality and very wide awake with what's going on in the world. And I was telling them about crystals. Well, do those work? I said, do they work? Well, let me tell you, she messaged me about a month later and was like, oh my gosh, what else is there? What else is there? I said, the whole world is full of crystals, nature's gifts. And then the other thing that was really cool, I mentioned spirit guides, and she said, what are those? And I said, well, and I started to get into it. And she said, oh, I've always had these two beings around me, these presences. She goes, they even saved my life once. I said, well, hello, that's your guides, right?
Mm-hmm. But sometimes it could be a secret for that's yours, but once you speak it,
Mhm.
you can't ignore it.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. You can't it's like some things you see that you can't unsee. Speaking
Mm-hmm.
about that, can we talk about your gift to the world with your book that you put out? I just downloaded that today, actually. Hmm.
You did?
Hmm.
Okay.
I think that's
The
important. There's
book of
so many people
basics?
waking up. Hmm.
Oh, well, I wrote that, oh my God, lifetimes ago. And it's just how to connect. When you awaken, like, where do you go? What do you do? Because all this is new. So I call it the Book of Spiritual Basics, and it's how to connect with the angels and how to use a crystal and how to know when you're under psychic attack, how to do, a really simple meditation circle, just basic stuff that you should know when you awaken. That will help your life be easier.
Exactly. Exactly. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, let's talk about your show. So, how did you get started in podcasting? And I know what you do, but for other people that are just hearing about you tonight.
Well, I had a friend, Roseanne Barr,
Are you
and
friends with Roseanne?
we were friends.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
And she was doing a radio show, and she would bring me on her radio show every now
Oh,
and then,
so
and
cool.
actually offer to let me do it for that hour, which was amazing. But I got into the radio um, 2012 when things were going to go crazy because I knew it didn't have to go what they were predicting into the dark side.
Hmm.
So I was doing the radio show and energy work and light work
Hmm.
to bring that light down, to anchor it. It was also free. Okay.
Hmm.
Now somebody gifted me the radio show, and it was like $300 a month, which to me that's a lot of money.
Is
And so after 2012, I kept the radio show for 2 months, and then I couldn't take her money anymore. So I
hmm.
literally told Spirit, I went, okay, if you want me to continue doing radio, you're going to have to find it, bring it to me, set it up, and it's going to have to be free.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay, right, sure. So the very next day, a friend of mine called at a different station. She says, oh, I already talked to the station owner, and he wants you to come on, and all you have to do is pick out your times, and it's for free.
Hmm.
Okay, I mean, Spirit just set it up. How are you going to say no, right? Okay.
Exactly.
So I did that for a long time, and then the station owner went a little crazy, as they sometimes do. And
Mm-hmm.
I went to Joe, and he brought me on, and I've been on ever since. But it's helping people remember what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's also the magic we can do. Earth is a planet of magic and creativity, and what we put out there is going to manifest. And when we do it on radio, we're putting it out on the airwaves, and we are countering what the dark side is doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plus, look at how many people we pull in, you
Well, I
know?
think people don't realize, like, with because Joe's been doing this for so long. I mean, I think we're in almost like 200 countries, our network. This show, I think, goes out, and you've been on longer than I have, goes out, I think, to about 160 different countries. So we got people from all over the world listening. So what a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful way. Same thing as I'm telling other people, what a beautiful time. If you've got something to say and something to share with the world, don't think about it, just do it. Put it out there like Cathy said, and just let it go. Release it, say this is what I need.
And, we're doing the radio show, and you can't think about how effective we are. We know we're
No,
effective.
don't even worry
But
about that. Hmm.
even we can be even if one person gets it,
Hmm.
that's huge. And you don't know when we talk to people how it's going to affect them later on. They may not react right now,
Hmm.
but down the road, they may get it in such a huge way. We will never know it was
Or
because
come
of
across
something
an
we didn't
archive,
say.
or come across an archive,
Exactly,
or
yes.
none of
Archives are
us do it for
huge.
numbers. We're not sitting there thinking, oh my God, I'm reaching this many people. No, we're doing it because we love it and we love sharing the messages that we need to share. That's why I tell other people right now that the last year and a half, people have watched so much television, like you've gone through everything. So now's a perfect time. People are looking for something new to hear, to see. And I've met so many people. I've been thinking about doing a podcast. Somebody had fibromyalgia. I ran into at the pharmacy one day, one of the clerks, and she got chit-chatting with me. And I said, well, why don't you do it? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. I said, why not? You're not going to know if you don't try, right? Why have a regret and think I always wanted to do this? This is a perfect time. Hmm.
And what's cool about radio, well, until they started doing video,
Hmm.
that nobody saw you. You could do
Yeah,
it in your
that's true.
pajamas. And then, it's like, oh, we have video. Oh, okay, new dimension. But you don't see them all.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. You could have a million people out there listening, and you don't see a single one,
Hmm.
which I think is, I'm kind of a recluse, so to be able to do the work and not be up close and personal, that's awesome.
You don't have
And
that kind of personality.
but think about it though, this is one of the first lifetimes that light workers have been able to see the results of what they're doing, and spirit will show you. And like I said, I always know how effective I am by what's happening on the planet.
Yeah.
Just pay attention.
But
Yeah, there was
that's it,
one.
right? Like one person can make a huge difference. And yet we've been led to believe that, well, who am I? Like I'm just one voice. I actually got a message from someone recently. Well, I'm just one little tiny parent trying to take on the school board because their children went to school and came home jabbed. And I said, you can't think that way. You can't think that
Mm-mm.
way. You got to believe in what you're saying. You're passionate about this. You're being an advocate. Step forward into your power. We all have this, right? Hmm.
And you don't know, that's probably your mission.
Hmm.
And you don't know how it's going to affect others. And you may make a big world of a change because of your action.
Hmm.
You don't know. And like you said, don't let it stop you, because
Hmm.
people speaking out need to speak out more than they have ever done before.
Hmm. And that's the thing, right? And the other part is when we're talking about the dark side, their only weapon is fear.
Hmm. And they have no creativity.
Hmm.
Really, they don't. That's why they need machines, that they need the heart, they need direct energy weapons.
Hmm.
They're very reptilian, left brain.
Mhm.
and they come after the humans for the creativity.
Mhm. Mhm. No, we and that's one of my big messages too is, we are so powerful, and not from an ego sense. We are capable of
Mm-mm.
so many things. Like when I connect with spirit and have questions about, like, what do we need to do? Where are we going with this? And the first thing I'll hear is either my dear child, or if it's with a group, reminding us that we're a young race, but we're learning, we're growing, we're evolving. And, imagine where we will be. Or if we could just all, I keep saying, just agree to disagree, put our differences aside, pull together and unite. How powerful. That's why I brought up about all these people. Hundreds of thousands of people around the world are doing that. And that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about here too. Like, not fighting, not getting violent, just standing together, united.
And getting back to what one person can do, when I was working with, I work a lot with weather, how to calm fires, how to bring rain, how to send rain away, all that good stuff. In the beginning, oh my goodness, come here. In the beginning, it was very easy because we didn't have direct energy weapons
Hmm.
to amplify the weather. Okay, now you've got to address a lot more. But there was one time we were doing energy work and what I call divine alchemy. And I'm
Okay.
directing energy at the satellites, okay, hoping that they break down. And what happened is that somebody went up to the Hubble and they put the Hubble telescope in backwards.
Ooh,
Oops.
oops.
So, so it's little, but when you work with the elemental kingdom and you work with water and all of it, and you can cut them free from working with the dark magicians, even these guys. I was, well, coming on an island, I'm doing a lot of work with the water, and I'm cutting them free before they're called to hurt or harm. So one day I'm sitting at the table and I'm watching the news, and it showed where this cruise ship was out in the ocean, and this rogue wave came up out of nowhere. And well, to me, a
Okay.
rogue wave, I'm thinking, who's messing with the harp? Okay, somebody's playing to see what they can do. Well, the wave came and it hit the ship, almost knocked it over, but it didn't.
Hmm.
Now, to me, that's telling me is that water elemental refused to hurt all those beings.
Hmm.
So you can be effective and you can do it ahead of time.
Hmm.
Elemental kingdom is everything we see except our soul. Okay, our body is a group of elementals working together in harmony.
Hmm.
Okay, a gun is an elemental come created from the earth and reformed. The nuclear, facilities, that's an elemental that can be worked with.
I see
Everything.
why the alchemy now. I see why the alchemy, right? Because we take something and basically reform it and make it into something else.
Well, you're also cutting them free of their dark magicians that they've attached to. And it's my understanding that once a dark magician has that elemental is stuck to him throughout his lifetimes until the good guys come and set them free. So when God created the planet, everything was pristine and clean and beautiful. And then the elementals had to start mirroring ugly things, okay, and started being commanded to harm, which they didn't sign up for. So when you cut them free, reconnect them with God, clean them up with the angel, the violet flame, when it comes time for them to act, they can choose not to do it and to be totally neutral.
Hmm.
It's amazing what we can do. And even Jesus said, what I do, you're all going to do much greater.
Hmm.
I get them.
No, but you're right. And the thing is too, right? And I God, I've been saying this a lot lately, not on air but off air. Unless you're a psychopath or a sociopath, most people have good hearts. Don't get me wrong, we have the potential to be it all. We do, right? When you get into shadow work and things like that. But most people, not all. Like I said, unless you've got some issues, most people do choose. Think about it. If you want to think about your family or your spouse, or people have that good in them, or when you start pulling together on, and as my good friend Augie would say, creating a mastermind, if you will, we're just focusing that energy on something positive, and we have that choice. We can focus it on something positive or negative. That makes a lot of sense to me. You keep making me think of, because I do love elemental energy. We've talked about this off air, is that book, The Chronicles of Narnia. And you start reading about when animals used to have a voice, and all the dryads and the naiads and all the element, like spirits of the water and nature. And, I think that guy was onto something. I really do.
Absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
when you are connected to the creator, you
Mm-hmm.
start to see this
Mm-hmm.
and you start working with the elemental. It's like working with crystals. You see the crystals are a tool to help us heal. And this is how we used to heal. Great great grandma used to do this until they invented pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, this is an old way that we're bringing back the knowledge that God put all these rock stones and minerals on the planet for us to use
Mm-hmm.
to help our lives.
This crystal here, when I took my crystal Reiki, we had to have a special crystal, and I guess we chose each other. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I was watching a YouTube video because I didn't have a bail for it, so I kind of wrapped it in this special wire. But I do use this for healing, and it has a name. It told me its name. I have no. Its name is Justice. I have no idea why, but it's a Super Seven or Melody Stone, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a band of red. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but there's a band of red here, and there's one along the back. Now, when I use this for healing work, it gets almost fire red. Now, how would a stone be able to do that, right? So we know it's a crystal. It has energy. It has energy, special energy within it. And I can tell you, when I use it, it works great for people, say, that are having really awful pain. Like, I had somebody one time contact me, and they wanted to end their life because they were having that diabetic neuropathy pain, and it's just awful, that pain. I could feel it. It was so awful. And this worked. They didn't believe in crystals. They were just ready to try anything. Like, I mean, that they were ready to end their life to stop the pain. And I've had it work with a couple things, but that's the thing, until you start to work with crystals. And it's kind of with a lot of this stuff, right? I always say, whether you believe in it or not, it believes in you. You just have to put your attention and your energy towards
And the
it.
more you open, the better they'll work. But it's like the angel light will work and release pain, regardless whether you believe in it or not. You just have to
Mm-hmm.
use it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, we're bringing back healing modalities that have been forgotten because they want to push us all into the drug environment.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's not okay. We've got to go back to basics. That is how we used to heal, and that's what will help us get healthy. And people don't realize it's like lithium comes from lepidolite.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you can get a stone, lepidolite, and suck on that, and it'll calm you down.
Mm-hmm. What's going on, Tiana?
I
She
don't
says, I've
know.
had enough of that noise. I'm surprised mine hasn't perked her ears up yet. Hearing her, she was so bad last week. Oh my gosh, the cat was in here and the dog was in here. They were knocking my tripod. They were like, the cat was singing at the top of her lungs in the background.
It's live. What do you want from live, right? You get entertained, right? And
Oh
that's
my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're just they're like little humans. They really are, these things. I'm telling you, pets.
the thing.
So, what else are you doing with your show? So, you're doing just mostly healing. You have guests on your show too, right?
Yeah,
Pardon?
I do. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I haven't been. I don't go look now that I only have an hour show. I really don't go look for guests. I'll try to do a
It's
lot of
hard.
art. Well, I know it is, but I just rather get the light work out.
Hmm.
That is why I'm doing the show. That's what's more important. Now I've got a guest coming on next week who's going to talk about community, and this guy's done a lot of books on survival.
Hmm.
So But then I'm going to get back into doing energy work because there's, what direction? And I've probably written energy work from almost everything you can think of. And people go, how do you decide? I go, well, God makes it personal.
Well,
I have a,
no, but it's not
I
like
have
you
a
do it
sister that's
once.
a gambling addict. I have got a prayer for that. Okay, so
Okay,
but the more personal it is, the more you're going to give it attention. A
true.
lot of times, I mean, there's a lot that thank God isn't personal. I mean, when I wrote the energy work to cut the Catholic Church from its satanic ties to the planet,
Hmm.
that wasn't personal.
No.
Although I am a recovering Catholic, but
Hmm.
again, I've learned that you've got to release the elementals and you've got to really negate what the HARP is doing, what the CERN is doing, what the 5G is doing, because it is stopping people from reconnecting to the Creator.
Hmm.
So you've got to put all of that in a position of harmlessness, yet at the same time, give energy to everything good.
I just thought of something for people listening. You're referring to this as the dark magician. They're probably wondering, okay, I've never heard this term before. Who it like kind of where does this come
Well,
from? Where did the name
you
come
know,
from?
it, pick a word. It could be satanic, it could be Luciferian,
Yeah.
dark magicians, and I don't mean the color. I mean people doing works of evil. They're trying to manipulate. And, you don't even have to be a dark magician to want to try to manipulate people. People do that all the time. It's just that they're not conscious.
Mm-hmm.
Because if
Yeah,
they
but it's the
were,
same when people send people negative energy, like you said, a knife
mm-hmm,
in the back or whatever that is, because people don't aren't able. I should say all people, but people that aren't aware of that, even just being a really negative person, and we've all met them, living in that victimhood about everything's awful, my life is horrible. And you can tell just from people's voices or when we live in that energy. I don't know. I really believe that like attracts like on this planet. That's what we're going to bring more of into your life. Or you're a jealous or vengeful or angry person. You're,
oh yeah, oh yeah. And,
mhm,
when they say crap happens, and I'm being kind, when you're in that dark space, you magnetize more of that, and that's why it feels like your life starts to just go downhill because you're magnetizing more dark stuff. And
mhm,
we all had to learn it. I mean, I did. One day I woke up and I'm going, I don't want this anymore. I'm going to start focusing on the positive
mhm,
consciously, and
mhm.
it breaks a cycle. Good things will start happening to you if you can focus on the positive.
It really is true. And you know what? I've met people too that'll say, well, I have nothing to be thankful for. You have nothing to be thankful for. Did you wake up in a bed this morning? Did you wake up with a roof over your head? Could you have a cup of coffee? Do you know how many people don't have those luxuries?
Are you breathing? You know,
Exactly.
people say, I like it when they also say, well, I'm not addicted to anything. It's like, have you had a breath lately? What about food? What happens when you don't get food? Your body cramps up. That is one
Mhm,
of the biggest addictions we have on the planet, other than breathing.
mhm,
No breath, no life. But yeah, everybody, this is a planet of addictions.
mhm.
Pick your addiction wisely because you're going
It's
to
kind
have
of
one.
like with autism, for example, being a mother of an older child with autism. And one of the things that we see, speaking of addictions, kind of in the autism community, autistic children or people tend to do something called stimming, a repetitive behavior, whatever it may be. It might be the hands, it could be whatever, spinning a wheel, could be whatever, right? But because somebody has deemed it socially unacceptable, you'll get parents thinking they're being led by a professional that you need to stop that. I can guarantee you, every time a parent has done that, it's been replaced by something else worse. But where I'm going with this is we all stim. We all do. What do we do when we need to relax? Maybe it's more socially acceptable, but we all do it.
I find myself doing things with my hands,
Yeah.
like I'm playing a keyboard,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll have an old song come into my mind that I'll also start doing something with my hands. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
oh yeah.
Or you're a foot tapper, maybe you're a pacer. Maybe I move around. I've got a bad back, so I'm constantly moving around. I don't even realize it, but I do. Or I jiggle my foot. We all do it. And
Hmm.
whether it helps it self-soothing, whether it helps you calm yourself, it's just because it's more socially acceptable. But that's what we need to realize, right? As much as we are unique and different and amazing, each and every one of us, there are many similarities, regardless of where you are in the world, or
Hmm.
like for example, I'm mentioning a disability, but there's still a human being. That's the problem with these things. And I guess where I wanted to go, we got a little bit more time, is what can we do to give people some hope and some positivity in this world? We're going obviously global enlightenment is the way. I want them to listen to your show. But if people are having some really down days, things are really heavy right now. Have you got any suggestions for them?
Ooh, yeah, I work with energy. I work with the violet flame, and the
Ah,
violet flame transmutes energy. So I'll chant, I am a being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires. You make them more aware of what is their thoughts and what are not their thoughts.
mm-hmm,
When I realized when my kids were young, I would wake up in the morning and they would be really angels, and I would be Miss Bitch.
mm-hmm,
Okay, and they've done nothing wrong. So, to me, it's like, am I under psychic attack and reacting from that? Is the weight of the earth so heavy that it's drawing me into that negative realm? And truly, it doesn't matter. I got to shift it.
mm-hmm,
So I will go and walk away, or go into another room, and I'll chant, I am the being of violet fire, I am the purity God desires, until I feel it burn off.
mm-hmm,
Say a positive prayer, you know. Think of a time that, or something that made you really, really happy. Okay, and then feel it again. And then whenever you are feeling that down, go back to that happy place, shift it.
mm-hmm,
You are responsible for shifting it. Nobody else is going to do it.
mm-hmm.
I can send you energy to help you,
Right.
but ultimately, especially, yeah, and that's not true, because I can also call down the violet flame for you and do the
Mm-hmm.
energy work to help you shift.
But
But
you still have
again,
to be responsible for what caused it in the first place, because it's just like it's not going to take it away, right? It'll
you
help.
can walk. You can walk in. Again, it's how conscious people are. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can walk into a grocery store really, really happy and come out feeling like crap because you picked up everybody else's energy. Now, you or I would go, oh, this isn't ours, and brush it off.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll go and I'll take a shower and salt. And then when you're almost done, salt yourself down, um, rinse off and then oil yourself so you don't get dry skin. But that's also going to help remove some of that dark energy you may have taken on during the day, or a salt bath.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to be conscious of what is yours and what's not yours. And we're human, so we all screw up and we all go to that place, and just have a really good friend that you
Mm-hmm.
can call and that you can
Yeah.
talk to. And they can say, hey, get your head out of your butt, or, and let you release that energy and then help shift, because you're going to feel better. Don't do it alone.
Mm-hmm. I agree totally. Or the thing is, too, I always say to people, open your windows every day. Doesn't matter where you live, get some fresh air in, get some sunshine. I always say, get yourself outside if you can. If without shoes and socks, even better, on the grass or the soil's even better. The other thing, if people really just can't get in that happy space and you're not able to connect, what's yours and maybe what is somebody else's, everybody has a movie that has made them laugh their asses off. Everybody does. Turn the
Mm-hmm.
movie on and just escape for 2 hours and laughing. Imagine the energy, you move. Think about it, when we all get that, and it's almost like we need it. You get a fit of the giggles and you can't stop laughing. You're laughing so hard you can't breathe. How
But
do you
that raises
almost feel
your
high at the end
energy,
of it?
okay? It raises your energy.
Yeah.
And, you know, um, when I did and actually it's still out there with Roseanne Barr, and we did some energy work. And she was friggin' hilarious. I mean, she would do all kinds. But when I first saw it, because I'm serious with my energy work, I went, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? And I had to set it aside because I didn't know how I was going to approach it. And then it was like, okay, guys, watch it for the first time through. It is hilarious. Get your energy up, your vibration. And when it's done, close your, start it again, close your eyes, listen to the words, and give it energy.
I
But
love
yeah,
that.
laughter is awesome. Now I said, Dave, what do I do with my diet to keep my energy high and balanced? I eat a lot of sugar.
I do too. And I hate to admit it because it's not, you're not, but I do. I am like, I never liked sugar till I became a light worker, or I guess I awoke into this path, and I do. Now, I will tell you, I have a friend, Dr. Chuck Kennedy, and he has been doing tons of study with people that access their abilities, and he's actually proven, like, say if you're doing some readings as a, or moving energy or what have you, right, that within about a half hour, he was measuring blood sugar, and they find that people that do this line of work, he was finding their blood sugar is drop. Like, I'm in the Canadian values, but so many points right down into your boots. He tells you have chocolate on hand, make sure, or something, eat it before, have something to have half hour into whatever you're doing energy wise, because you, even massage therapists, like, think about what you pick up, or reflexologists touching other people's bodies, and all the energy and stuff you pick up. And again,
Mhm.
it's just a different way of looking at and thinking, right?
I'm 68, okay? Life is too damn short. If you want a piece of chocolate, go ahead and have it.
He wants to know, Dave's must, I haven't talked to
He's
Dave in
really
a
going to
little bit.
not like me, Dave. I do it all, okay? I am not conscious. I eat. I love to eat, okay? If it makes me happy, I eat. If it tastes good, I eat it. I don't care whether it's meat or not. I enjoy eating. I am on earth. We are here to enjoy life, okay?
Mhm.
For all the energy work I do, keeps me pretty much in balance. And I do a lot of healing work too.
Mhm.
Really, I do. When I'm not, at the store, or I'm in my private time. Um, but I
I was
know it's
surprised how
energy.
much you give away, like when you put in your bio. I mean, I know you personally, but I've never asked you for your bio, and that is a beautiful thing, because the more you give, it comes back to you, doesn't it?
I love you, Zach. Thank you.
Isn't he a sweetheart? We love our Zach.
But, in my Facebook page, I think it says I'm 115, 118.
Oh,
That's
did you
because I
put
don't let
that
me
down?
go any higher. Yeah, I'm there. It's really good there. Yeah, I
You know what
figure.
I love? You embrace your age, because I do the same. I know so many, it seems like a lot of women. One of my friends in particular, when I don't think I even really know her age. I have an idea within a year or two, and I respect that. But to me, it's age is just a number. No, are we going to run around and act like 14-year-olds? No, but it's a number, right? That's how you stay vital. And mm,
No, but when I'm at the store, and this doesn't make me look good, really, I will own that.
you look
Um,
beautiful.
no, thank you. And I'll tell somebody my age, especially if they're in their 20s or 30s, and when they are absolutely shocked, I know I'm having a good day.
There you go.
Yeah, and truth's coming out, and you look really good.
Hmm. Hmm.
But,
And there's nothing wrong with that either, people. You know what? If it's going to raise your vibration, we all have those days. You got a color that looks amazing on you. Doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. Your hair went just right that day. Maybe you don't have any hair. It doesn't matter, but you just feel great. And there's a
mhm.
reason why the saying out there is fake it till you make it. And I've had this conversation with people so many times privately. Well, I had one friend say to me, well, should I buy this top? Like, maybe it's too young. I said, hey, do you like it? Yeah. I said, if you can imagine yourself wearing it, how would you feel? Great. But if I walked into a room and people were staring, I said, well, then you just tell yourself they're going, oh my God, that top looks amazing on you. Walk in there with your head held high, and you're not being egotistical. Just walk in and own it. Like, don't worry about it. Doesn't matter what other people think you is, none of your business. That's their issue, not yours. If you love it, it feels
Exactly.
good, do it.
All
Hmm.
right, Dave. I am a Leo on the cusp of Cancer.
I did not know you were a Leo. That's why we get along so well. We're both Leos. I'm
Mm,
August 15th.
I'm the
Dave's the
20.
astrologist in the chat. So,
I'm the 24th. So that means I can go from
ah,
the spiritual warrior goddess to the romantic wimp like that. It's worse than Gemini. And then I have a Leo moon.
mm,
Oh
I
wait,
live
no,
with a
wait. It's
Gemini.
Leo Capricorn moon, and then Leo rising. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. No, I live with a Gemini, and I was warned because I was always aware. Dave and I were having this conversation this weekend. I was aware of, and I have, like, about astrological signs, and especially as Leos, we all, they list the so-called good and bad. I'll say the whole of it.
Hmm.
And somebody had warned me about being with a Gemini, and again, I don't think I'm putting them into a box like this is what they had to be, but they really are like living with two different people. They are.
Be on the cusp and see how that is. It's worse than an. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. It's finally at my age. I'm finally getting it. But
Yeah.
oh my God, I can see guys going, "Who are you today?" And it's like, well, how are you going to treat me? That's what you get. Okay, no
I have a
surprises.
son that's a Cancer, so, and then the other one
Oh,
is a
they're
Pisces.
feeling. You know, they're feeling.
Hmm. Most people know, like, that's kind of refreshing because most people I'm running into are starting to understand a little bit more about astrology. And like I said, Dave says he has a different way of doing. Zach says a Gemini. What does that say about me? Well, what I'll
Confused.
say about Dave was he says he has a very unique way about the way he teaches and shares astrology. So I've said we're not going to talk about it till we get on the show. Same thing I didn't ask you, been dying to ask you about the dolphin work. I said I won't ask you till you're on this show. Zach, I will tell you, you're the one of the sweetest gentlemen I have met. I've known you for quite a few years, but I don't know you on a personal basis, like where I live with, like if I lived with you. Now, my partner, the Dell, very gregarious, outgoing, whatever. And then he's just can be the absolute opposite sometimes. And it's more pronounced than I would say than most humans, like as a Gemini, and I've met many.
Hmm.
Michelle's back. Okay, she says she placed the rock in the foil and under a pyramid. Oh, she sent a picture to me, so I'll send it to you, Kathy.
Cool.
Yeah, Michelle, it was so weird. Michelle, I think you were scrolling one day in YouTube and you found UPRN. That's how I met her. So we started talking. That's why I brought up about the resin because I know you do some resin. She makes
Hmm.
beautiful pieces. As we're talking, I happen to say, "Oh, I think it's my birthday on Sunday." And she goes, "Oh, my birthday's Saturday." She's a day behind me over in Australia. So we usually have the same people popping in here. I'm so grateful for all you guys too. I love having you here, loving and having you part of the conversation. So Dave's giving his analysis of Zach here. Let's see what he's got to say, Kathy. Oh, it depends where you are in Gemini. Hmm. Definitely. Right?
Uh-huh. Well, I hope next time when I go on my show, I can figure out how the chat works.
How the chat? Well, you figured out. You highlighted the comments before
Well,
I
now here
I
it
would.
come in, but when I do it on my own, on
Yes, you
my
can.
iPad, there's no, I mean, yeah, I'm getting there.
You picked up really quickly, really quickly. Because
Well, I
Kathy and
had
I
to hit
normally can't
once.
talk on video, so we got to do it by phone. And you did really well with trying to explain to somebody by phone, push this button, push that button.
You're a good teacher.
Yes. Well, you guys, we are just about out of time here. Kathy, can you tell them, like, again, remind them Global Enlightenment and your website and your YouTube channel and where they can find you and your show?
Okay, World Enlightenment, December 24th, and okay, and you can go on, that's worldenlightenment2021.org. Okay, you can get more information. That's the forum, so you can chat, give ideas out, come on over there and check it out. And then you can go to my website, which is www.cathybilsky, www.angellighteom.com. ANGELITEOM.com is where I have all my Angel Light products, healing products on there, and they all glow in the dark. Really cool stuff.
Love it.
And YouTube, Cathy Bilsky. Facebook, Cathy Bilsky. I make it really easy.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever other social media, I'm on Cathy Bilsky. If you want
Dave
people
says
to
that's a
find her.
perfect. Dave says that's a perfect day you picked too. He concurs with
Oh,
December
God.
24th.
Thank you, Dave. Oh, my God. You want to come on my show?
I'll connect you with Dave. He's super nice, super intelligent. He's awesome to talk to. He said, "No, I apologize to 150 degrees." He said, "So no, I knew he'd put his 2 cents worth in there." So where can they find you so they can come check out your awesome show?
Oh, yeah, Friday night. Friday nights. Let's see, it's 9 to 10 Central Time. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
on
you're on
late.
at midnight. It's Eastern, I think. Midnight is
Yeah,
Eastern.
midnight to
Yeah.
1. But Hawaiian time, it's 6 o'clock, which is perfect
Yeah,
for me. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, we celebrate different birthdays, but actually the same day. Michelle is right because she's in Australia.
Well, you got that
So
day difference going on.
I want to thank you for being here tonight, Cathy. Love you. If you guys ever have any questions, anyways, and you shouldn't have any trouble finding Cathy, but if you do, most people that are on here are on my friends list or whatever, send me a message. I want to remind you guys next week, she's been on my show before. The Dell, my partner, as I say, he always jacks some of my guests, and he set this up. We usually have her on 4 times a year. But because Dell's on a different night now, we used to do a 3 hour show. I didn't go on the show about a month ago with them because I wouldn't have got a word in edgewise. So she's coming for the Halloween show. We are having Varla Ventura. So you guys, you want to dress up, you want to got questions, comments. She loves the strange paranormal. She's written books about fairies, vampires, werewolves, unusual strange stuff. She is a wealth of knowledge. So come hang out next week. We're going to have a fun Halloween party. I'm going to remind you guys too. I haven't talked to Joe. I talked to him before he left. We're supposed to be having a Halloween party December. I'm thinking New Year's, October 31st, which is a Sunday night. We don't normally broadcast live from UPRN. Cathy's invited. Everybody's invited, all the hosts. If you guys have any stories of the strange, the unusual, the scary, maybe you got some EVPs, some pictures, video, send it to us and we'll play it during the show. But we'd love to have it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Want to wear costumes? Wear them. Like I said, I'm still working on it, but we're going to have a lot of fun. Anyways, I love all you guys. Just before we go, Dave says, "Nice to hear your story, Cathy. Thank you," he said. And thank you, Cathy. You know what? Just love you. Well, I call her my soul sister. She started that. She's right. She's like a soul sister. So you guys make sure you go check out her show. Also want to remind you guys, you can get a hold of me if you ever want to book a reading, any healing sessions, do a lot of different free stuff as well. You can find me on facebook.com/the Angel Rock. I'm on all social media under personal accounts, Lorilei Potvin. If not, it'll be under the Angel Rock for professional. Also, I have two groups on Facebook, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, and then the Angel Rocker Tribe for more things like what Cathy and I talked about tonight. And you'll see her links in those groups because I told her use the group, share it. We've got almost 2,000 people between the two. You got any questions at all? Like I say, you know where to find me. Send you all so much love and light. Thanks for being here, guys. See you next week. Mwah. Okay, take
Aloha.
care.